The hip-hop world is spinning out of control right now because an explosive beef just erupted. And it's bigger than anyone could have imagined. What started as sly comments, a few shady likes on Instagram, and some cryptic bars has now escalated into a firestorm that no one saw coming. And at the heart of it all, Kendrick Lamar and Cardi B, two titans caught in the middle of a war that feels like it could burn the entire culture down. Fans are scrambling for answers. Social media is in chaos, and behind the scenes, insiders are leaking details that sound too wild to believe. Did Kendrick ignite this on purpose, or is Cardi being dragged into something she never wanted? And who are the hidden players fueling the flames from the shadows? Stay with us, because this is only the beginning of a saga that's about to explode. Kendrick Lamar. Cardi B. Hip hop beef. Drama alert. It started with something so small, so fleeting that fans could hardly believe it would grow into one of the loudest controversies hip-hop had seen in years. One like, that's it, Kendrick Lamar's verified Instagram account briefly tapped. On a video where a DJ was hyping up Cardi B's latest freestyle. The video wasn't even that long, maybe 45 seconds of Cardi rapping on a private stage at a fashion event. But the DJ's voiceover is what made people lose their minds. Cardi ain't just here for the hits, he said. She just proved she goes harder than most rappers with Grammys. That one line. That's smoke for Kendrick, if you ask me. The like disappeared within minutes, but not before thousands of fans grabbed screenshots. By morning, #KendrickVCARD. I was the #1 trending hashtag across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. People couldn't agree on what it meant. Some were convinced Kendrick had meant it as support, a nod of respect to Cardi finally earning her stripes. Others said it was shade, that Kendrick was mocking Cardi and co-signing. The DJs claimed that her bar was directed at him. And then Cardi poured gasoline on the fire in an Instagram live session. Cardi couldn't resist when fans spammed her comments about Kendrick. At first she laughed it off, sipping her drink and rolling her eyes. But then she leaned closer to the camera and dropped a line that set the internet ablaze. Listen, I don't need no validation from nobody. If a legend wanna peek in, let him peek in. But don't get it twisted. Ain't nobody bigger than me when I step in the booth. The clip went viral instantly. Within hours, @RapTV posted it with the caption, Cardi seemingly takes shots at Kendrick Lamar after his viral IG like. #Cardi B, #Kendrick Lamar. The post racked up over 3 million views before the night was over. Insiders wasted no time fanning the flames. A blog called Industry Leaks claimed Cardi had 2 unreleased tracks locked in with big-name producers where she calls out certain rappers hiding behind poetry. They hinted at one line where she raps, "You writing essays, I'm writing history." The blogs insisted it was meant for Kendrick. Meanwhile, sources tied to TDE swore that Kendrick hadn't said a single word about Cardi, privately or publicly. One source told a reporter, Kendrick ain't worried about her. He don't even think she in the same lane. But because neither Cardi's camp nor Kendrick's people would make an official statement, the speculation spread like wildfire. DJ Academics at Academics jumped in. Tweeting Yuwu, I'm hearing Kendrick bout to address the Cardi situation on wax. This summer gone be crazy. #CARDIB, #Kendrick Lamar. His tweet went nuclear, fueling arguments across every corner of the internet. Fans of Cardi, the Barty Gang, flooded the replies, swearing Cardi could wash Kendrick if she wanted to. Cardi, don't play. She dragged Nicki. You think she's scared of Kendrick? One fan posted. On the other side, Kendrick stans mocked the idea. Cardi can't even write her own bars and you think she's standing toe-to-toe with Kung Fu Kenny? Don't make me laugh. Things escalated when Cardi appeared on a late-night talk show. The host asked her if she had issues with Kendrick. Instead of brushing it off, she smirked and said, "Issues? Nah, I got tracks." The studio audience screamed, but the internet lost its mind. Clips of the statement dominated TikTok with captions like, Cardi confirms diss tracks aimed at Kendrick. Hashtag Cardi's Kendrick. By sunrise, thousands of reaction videos filled YouTube, some calling it the beginning of the next legendary beef, while others dismissed it as promo hype. What made the situation even more chaotic was Kendrick's silence. He didn't tweet. He didn't post. He didn't respond. That silence drove people insane. Fans speculated he was already in the studio cooking up a response that would dismantle Cardi in one verse. Memes spread everywhere of Kendrick sitting in a dark room scribbling lyrics while Cardi raged online. Meanwhile, Cardi doubled down. She posted a tweet saying, "Play with me if you want to. I don't fold." Ever. The tweet was retweeted nearly 500,000 times. Every major hip-hop blog picked it up. Some said she was bluffing. Others said this was the boldest move of her career. One entertainment journalist wrote, "Cardi actually fires a diss at Kendrick and it lands. She'll make history as the first mainstream female rapper to challenge him head-on. But if it flops, she risks being crushed in one of the most one-sided beefs ever." Behind the scenes, the tension was reportedly real. A producer close to TDE told a podcast that Kendrick's camp was warning him not to engage, because Cardi's online fan base is feral, and they'll twist anything into a win for her. But another insider claimed Kendrick was already preparing a verse so brutal it would end all conversations about who's the better rapper. Fans latched onto those rumors, speculating that Kendrick might use an upcoming feature to sneak in subliminals at Cardi.to add more confusion. Offset, Cardi's husband, liked a shady tweet that read, "Some rappers hide behind their metaphors because they scared to go head-to-head." Screenshots of his went viral instantly. Was Offset throwing shade at Kendrick on Cardi's behalf? Offset later unliked it. But the damage was done. The Barty gang cheered while Kendrick fans called Offset reckless for poking a giant. And then came the ultimate twist. Leaked audio surfaced online of a Cardi studio session where she was heard rapping, "King of the West, but I run the charts, you hiding in riddles. I'm ripping apart." Fans immediately took it as proof that she had indeed recorded a Kendrick diss. Cardi didn't confirm it was real, but she didn't deny it either. Instead, she posted a cryptic IG story with a devil emoji and a mic. That was all it took. By now, it wasn't just about an Instagram like anymore. The internet had turned it into a war, with two camps ready to go to battle for their favorites. Cardi seemed fully energized by the storm, dropping hints and stirring chaos with every post. Kendrick, as always, stayed quiet, and that silence only made people believe something catastrophic was brewing behind the scenes. What started as a single tap on a screen had spiraled into a global debate about talent, respect, and ego in hip-hop. Fans didn't just want music anymore, they were demanding it. Everyone wanted to know, was Kendrick going to break his silence, or would Cardi be the first to drop? Whatever the answer was, one thing was undeniable. Both of them were officially caught in the middle of a beef too big to ignore. #CARDIB, hashtag Kendrick Lamar, hashtag rap drama, hashtag hip hop beef. Hashtag explosive beef, hashtag BARD, iGang number TDE, hashtag music industry drama. By the time the sun rose the next day, the internet was already drowning in chaos. The alleged leaked Cardi B track was still circulating, reposted by fan pages and gossip blogs, each claiming exclusive access. The audio wasn't crystal clear, okay, but the words were enough. "King of the West, but I run the charts, you hiding in riddles, I'm ripping apart." To fans, that was all the evidence they needed. Cardi had thrown the first real punch, and it was aimed directly at Kendrick Lamar. The hashtag CARDI diss trended for 16 hours straight, while hashtag Kendrick Respond trailed right behind. TikTok exploded with split-screen videos of fans analyzing every second of the leak. One viral TikToker posted, "Cardi went there. She ain't holding back. This ain't subliminal. This is war." At Kendrick Lamar, "What you gonna do?" The clip racked up 6 million views in just 2 days. But while the Barty gang celebrated, something strange happened. A new rumor surfaced that shook the narrative. According to an insider leak reported by a well-known YouTube channel, the leaked track wasn't an official diss at all. The producer allegedly behind the beat claimed it was an unfinished freestyle Cardi recorded during a warm-up session. That wasn't meant for release, the producer supposedly said. It was a throwaway. But she definitely had Kendrick in mind when she spit it. This revelation only made things murkier. Was Cardi intentionally baiting Kendrick with leaks? Or had someone in her camp strategically leaked the snippet to ignite buzz before her next release? Either way, fans demanded answers. And Cardi gave them one, though not the kind anyone expected. Late that night, Cardi jumped back on Instagram Live. Thousands tuned in instantly, hungry for drama. She smirked at the camera, rocking designer shades even though it was 2 a.m. "Y'all always want to talk about who's better," she said. "Listen, if you feel threatened, that's on you. I don't back down. Period. If somebody want to respond, respond. But don't be hiding behind silence. Silence ain't strength. Silence is weakness." The clip was reposted by @TheShadeRoom and instantly went viral. The comment section exploded. Some praised Cardi's fearlessness. Others accused her of clout-chasing Kendrick's name. Meanwhile, Kendrick's silence was becoming deafening. Blogs, podcasts, and even mainstream news outlets began speculating about his next move. "We've seen this before," one Rolling Stone columnist wrote. "Kendrick thrives on being the quiet storm, letting the world talk until he decides the exact moment to strike. The longer he stays silent, the more pressure builds on him to deliver something nuclear." But silence didn't mean inactivity. Behind the scenes, whispers began circulating that Kendrick had locked himself in the studio with trusted collaborators. One rumor claimed that he had recorded not one, but 2 separate tracks, debating which to release first, depending on how far Cardi pushed things. A fake insider tweet blew up online. Hearing Kendrick recorded a verse calling Cardi the queen of gimmicks and threatening to burn her empire down in 16 bars. Then came Offset. Cardi's husband couldn't resist defending her when fans tagged him non-stop. He tweeted, "Stop playing with my wife's pen. Ain't nobody touching her. #BARDI gang. But within minutes, Kendrick fans clapped back, flooding his mentions with memes about Offset being the hype man in Cardi's shadow. Offset deleted the tweet, but the screenshots kept circulating. Some fans even speculated Kendrick might address Offset too if things got uglier. The chaos hit another level when Drake's name got dragged into it. A viral Spaces chat featured fans arguing about how Drake would never let someone come for him without responding, and someone brought up the Drake versus Kendrick beef. Kendrick dismantled Drake, and now Cardi trying to do the same. "Be serious," one fan said. Another replied, "Nah, Cardi different. She not afraid of the smoke." Drake's situation proves legends can bleed too. Within hours, #Drake trended alongside #CARDIV's Kendrick, dragging him into a beef he hadn't even acknowledged. Every corner of the internet seemed divided. On one side, Cardi's fans celebrated her boldness, saying she was carrying hip-hop into a new era where women weren't afraid to take down the so-called untouchables. On the other side, Kendrick's fans warned that Cardi was playing with fire, poking an artist known for delivering brutal, career-shattering verses when pushed too far. One viral tweet captured the mood perfectly. "Cardi picking a fight with Kendrick is like throwing a water balloon at a volcano. You think you winning until it erupts." What made matters even more dramatic was the involvement of other celebrities. Rapper Meek Mill jumped into the conversation on Twitter, posting, "These new rappers don't understand. Silence from K. ain't peace. It's patience. #wait on it." His post was liked by thousands and quoted by Kendrick fans as proof that a response was coming. Meanwhile, Cardi's close friend and collaborator Megan Thee Stallion liked a tweet that said, "They scared of a Bronx queen. That's why they keep crying silence." That only fueled speculation that Megan might take Cardi's side publicly if Kendrick responded. As fans debated, leaks of a supposed Kendrick response track list began spreading in Reddit forums. One screenshot claimed Kendrick had a track titled Queen of Nothing ready to drop. Another claimed he was planning to drop a feature verse on a big-name collab that would subtly tear Cardi apart without even saying her name. Nobody could confirm the authenticity of these leaks. But fans latched onto them anyway, dissecting every possibility. At the same time, Cardi was playing her part to perfection. She posted a video of herself in the studio, nodding her head aggressively to a heavy beat with the caption, "Clock's ticking hashtag. I see OULD drop tonight." The post got over 8 million views in less than 24 hours. Fans flooded Kendrick's mentions, begging him to reply before Cardi dropped something official. One fan wrote, "At Kendrick Lamar, please, don't let Cardi run the narrative. Drop the nuke already." Insiders began warning that the tension was spilling beyond music into real business. Sponsors, labels, and even festival organizers were reportedly concerned about booking both Cardi and Kendrick on the same events. One insider told a gossip blog, "If they don't clear this up, it's going to affect lineups, contracts, and even brand deals. This isn't just a rap beef anymore. It's industry money on the line." And just when fans thought things couldn't get any wilder, Cardi dropped another bombshell. During an unfiltered Twitter rant, she tweeted, "Y'all keep acting like silence is golden. But silence don't win Grammys. Silence don't run the charts. Silence don't change the culture. I do." The tweet shook hip-hop Twitter to its core. Thousands of replies argued about whether she had just officially declared war on Kendrick. By the end of the week, what had started as a subtle like on a video had escalated into an all-out cultural moment. Everyone was waiting for the next domino to fall. Would Kendrick finally respond with bars that silenced Cardi once and for all? Or would Cardi beat him to the punch by dropping a fully polished diss that made her the unexpected giant killer of 2025? One thing was certain, the internet wasn't calming down. It was only getting hotter, and hip-hop had officially been set on fire. #CARDIB, hashtag Kendrick Lamar, hashtag hip-hop beef, hashtag explosive drama, hashtag Xtag rap news, hashtag BARDI gang, hashtag KDOT. By the time this explosive feud hit its third stage, the energy in hip-hop had reached a fever pitch. Every timeline, every trending topic, and every podcast was locked on the chaos surrounding Kendrick Lamar, Cardi B, and the tangled web of rivalries dragging them into the center of the storm. What started as a couple of sly disses and backstage whispers had escalated into full-on warfare. Insiders began spilling what many are now calling the moment the game flipped. According to an anonymous producer who claims to have been in the studio with one of Kendrick's closest allies, the Compton legend didn't even want Cardi B in the middle of this. Kendrick respects her grind, the source said. But once certain names started dragging her into the beef, he had no choice but to defend his own corner. Now, it looks like they're on opposite sides, Evan, though it wasn't his intention. That comment alone sparked over 2 million impressions on X, with hashtags like hashtag CARDIVs, KDOT, and hashtag hip-hop civil war dominating the conversation. But here's where it gets darker. Some claim that Cardi wasn't just dragged into this, she leaned into it. During a heated Instagram live, Cardi dropped subtle shade, never naming Kendrick directly but making comments like, "Some people act like they above everybody, like their words are scripture. Baby, you bleed just like the rest of us." Screenshots of that live spread like wildfire, and fans immediately linked the comment to Kendrick's reputation as a lyrical prophet. Whether she meant it or not, the damage was done. Within hours, dozens of influencers were posting reaction videos claiming that Cardi had officially chosen a side. And it wasn't Kendrick's. Meanwhile, other rappers and industry insiders started chiming in. One DJ in New York claimed this beef is the most dangerous one we've seen in years. It's not just about bars, it's about pride, respect, and loyalty. Once you pull artists like Cardi B into the fire, you're talking about global fan bases clashing. You think Drake versus Kendrick shook the internet? This is about to break it. On TikTok, creators were already building entire conspiracies around behind-the-scenes footage from recent award shows. A slowed-down clip of Cardi walking past Kendrick, without acknowledging him, racked up 15 million views with captions like, "She ain't even look his way. Tension's real." Others pushed the narrative that Kendrick was quietly furious, pointing to his stoic face during a performance Cardi attended. Though no one could prove if the two even crossed paths backstage, fans of both camps are locked in a digital war zone. Cardi's fans are flooding threads with support, accusing Kendrick of being too controlling of the culture. While Kendrick's defenders argue that Cardi is being manipulated into fighting battles that were never hers. One viral tweet with over 500,000 likes read, "This isn't Cardi versus Kendrick. This is the industry trying to pit them against each other because they can't handle Kendrick's reign." But behind all the public chaos, whispers suggest there's a hidden layer no one's fully seen yet. A source close to Cardi's team allegedly revealed that she's been in private talks with a major rival of Kendrick's to collaborate on a nuclear track. If true, that would shift the balance of power completely. Imagine Cardi's voice paired with one of Kendrick's most dangerous opponents. Sit would be a move designed not just to clap back, but to end his dominance outright. Still, not everyone believes the situation is black and white. Some argue that Cardi might actually be playing the long game, positioning herself as the neutral figure who can bridge the gap, only to come out on top regardless of who wins. After all, she's been through feuds before and managed to spin them into viral dominance. Could this be another masterclass in timing, where Cardi lets the internet burn while she sits back and racks up streams? The stakes are rising higher than anyone predicted. Kendrick, usually measured in his responses, is being cornered. According to one anonymous journalist, he knows if he stays silent, people will interpret it as weakness. But if he fires back at Cardi even subliminally, he risks alienating one of the most powerful female fan bases in music. That's a lose-lose game. Lose-lose game. And yet, silence doesn't seem to be Kendrick's style anymore. Insiders swear he's working on a new record that directly addresses the chaos. Not a diss track, but something sharper. Something that reestablishes his throne without needing to mention Cardi by name, if true. That's the type of power play that could silence critics and remind the industry why he's still untouchable. As for Cardi, her team has reportedly been weighing offers to do televised interviews where she can set the record straight. But every delay only adds to the speculation, with fans convinced that she's waiting for the perfect moment to drop a bombshell. She knows how to control the narrative. One blogger wrote, "Every second she stays quiet, the hype grows bigger. When she finally speaks, the whole internet's gonna stop." No matter which angle you look at, one thing is certain: this isn't just a rap beef anymore. It's become a cultural flashpoint, a storyline too big to ignore. Whether it ends in reconciliation or total destruction, fans are hooked. The only question is, who's really pulling the strings? And how far are they willing to go to see Kendrick Lamar and Cardi B on opposite sides of history? Because the more this feud escalates, the more it feels like someone, somewhere, wanted this chaos all along. And if that's true, the next chapter could be even darker than anyone's prepared for. As the feud between Kendrick Lamar and Cardi B exploded into its most chaotic stage yet, the internet seemed to spin completely out of control. What had started as whispers and subliminals had now snowballed into a war zone where no one artist, fans, bloggers, or even industry executives could escape the fallout. By part 4 of this saga, it was no longer just about rap. It was about culture, power, and survival in an industry where every move could end a career or create a legend. The chaos began with what many are calling the audio leak heard around the world. Out of nowhere, A 15-second snippet surfaced online, allegedly from an unreleased track Kendrick had recorded. In the grainy clip, his voice could be heard rapping. They crown anybody with a filter and a hook. But culture don't bend for the look. Within minutes, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram had declared it a shot at Cardi B. The reference to a filter and a hook was too on-nose for most fans to ignore. Screenshots of Cardi's past performances and her frequent use of filters were plastered side by side with Kendrick's bar. The internet went into full meltdown mode. Cardi's fans, known for their ferocity online, weren't having it. Hashtags like #LeaveCardi alone and #KDOT is jealous immediately started trending. One fan tweeted Kendrick acting like he invented rap. Cardi brought women back to the mainstream in ways he never could. Respect her name. That single post got nearly 1.2 million likes in 24 hours. On TikTok, fan edits painted Kendrick as a gatekeeper, while Cardi was hailed as a cultural rebel standing up to his elitism. But Kendrick's defenders clapped back just as hard. This isn't about gender, it's about talent. One viral post read, "Kendrick is reminding everyone that clout isn't the same as art. And if Cardi feels hit, maybe she should ask herself why." This post became the most quoted tweet of the week, with even rappers liking and sharing it under the radar. Behind the scenes, industry insiders were panicking. According to a leaked group chat screenshot involving two label executives, there were serious concerns that this feud could spiral into something irreparable. One exec allegedly wrote, "This isn't just fan drama. We're talking streaming wars, sponsorships, award show fallouts. If Cardi and Kendrick don't settle this, brands will start pulling back." The screenshot went viral, fueling conspiracy theories that corporate money was now fueling both sides to keep the feud alive. Meanwhile, Cardi made her next move a surprise Instagram story that sent shockwaves through the culture. Over a black screen with nothing but a broken heart emoji, Cardi wrote, "Funny how the people who preach unity are the first ones to throw stones." Though she never said Kendrick's name, the timing was undeniable. Fans flooded her comments, begging her to clap back with a track, while others warned her that engaging further could backfire. And then came the most shocking twist. A rumor that Cardi had linked up with one of Kendrick's most dangerous rivals in the studio. Whispers of her recording a collaboration with Drake began spreading like wildfire after a paparazzi photo caught her leaving a Los Angeles studio rumored to be one of Drake's frequent spots, though no confirmation came. The internet didn't need one memes of Cardi and Drake teaming up to end Kendrick started circulating instantly. One viral TikTok with 10 million views declared, "This collab will be the final blow. Kendrick can't win this." But here's the thing, others argue that Cardi is being used as a pawn in a much bigger game. A veteran journalist claimed during a live stream, "The industry wants Cardi to be the face of this beef because she brings chaos, virality, and headlines. But the real battle isn't between her and Kendrick. It's between the machine that wants to dethrone Kendrick and his refusal to bend to it." That perspective sparked deep debates across comment sections, with fans questioning if Cardi was genuinely driving the feud, or if she was being pushed into a narrative she couldn't control. The tension reached an unbearable peak when Cardi decided to go live on Instagram once again. Millions tuned in, expecting her to directly address Kendrick. Instead, she broke down in tears, saying, "I don't want to be in nobody's crossfire. But I'm not going to let nobody belittle me either. I work too hard. I sacrifice too much. I'm not going to be quiet just because it makes people comfortable." The rawness of that moment sent shockwaves through the culture. Clips of her crying went viral within minutes, with fans and critics dissecting every word. Some praised her vulnerability. Others saw it as a strategic play to win sympathy. Kendrick, on the other hand, remained silent, but his silence spoke volumes. Insiders say he's been in the studio nonstop, crafting what could be one of the most important records of his career. According to one producer, Kendrick told his team, "This isn't about beef. This is about truth. Let the music speak." That statement alone sent fans into a frenzy. with speculation that his next release will not only address Cardi indirectly, but also reshape the conversation about artistry versus clout once and for all. Now, the industry is holding its breath. Award season is around the corner, and both Cardi and Kendrick are expected to attend major ceremonies. The thought of them in the same room has already sparked endless memes and predictions of an explosive confrontation. Will they ignore each other? Will someone throw shade on stage? Or could the unthinkable happen, with both artists confronting the tension live for the world to see? At this point, no one knows how deep this feud will go. Fans are locked in, commentators are milking every second. And hip-hop as a culture feels like it's hanging on the edge of a cliff. The Cardi versus Kendrick moment has already cemented itself as one of the wildest cultural flashpoints in recent years. But the question that remains is terrifying. Are we just witnessing the beginning of a storm far more destructive than anyone anticipated? Because if the rumors of that Drake-Cardi collab are true, Kendrick may be forced into a corner he's never been in before. And once he makes his move, there may be no turning back. And that, right there, is where things stand at the very edge of chaos. With Cardi B and Kendrick Lamar caught in the middle of what feels like the most explosive cultural feud of the decade. Every single move from here on out could change everything. Will Cardi double down with a full-on diss track? Will Kendrick break his silence with a project so powerful it silences all doubt? Or will the rumors of a Drake x Cardi collab ignite the kind of firestorm no one can put out? The truth is, we're only at the beginning of this wild ride. The leaks, the live streams, the cryptic posts, it all points to a storm that hasn't even hit full force yet. And when it does, the industry, the fans, and the culture won't be the same. So now it's your turn. What do you think happens next? Is Kendrick about to remind the world why he's untouchable? Or will Cardi, with the support of her army of fans and maybe even Drake, flip the script and leave K. fighting for relevance? Drop your take in the comments right now, because the debates are going crazy. And your voice matters in this moment. And don't forget, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications and join this community where we break down every twist, every leak, and every jaw-dropping update as it happens. This story isn't just a B-Fits history in the making, and you don't want to miss a second of it. Stay locked in, because if the next move is as explosive as the rumors suggest, it might just shake hip-hop to its core. Hashtag Kendrick Lamar, hashtag CARDIB, hashtag hip hop drama, at Kendrick Lamar, at I am Cardi, at Drake Lamar, at I am Cardi, at Drake.